In the last 13 years coaching thousands of people, the one thing I've learned is most people make fat loss way harder and way more complex than it needs to be, especially when it comes to their training. So today we're going over the simple training routines that makes fat loss easier, not harder. And I'm not going to bullshit you and say there's some magic fat loss training plan or exercise or any of that. So if you did come for that, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not going to deliver it because it's just not true. But oh shit, what I will do is do my very, very best to make sure you leave this video with as much clarity as possible on what to do with your training to make the best fat loss progress now and moving forward. And I'm also going to simplify everything for you as well. Let's do it. Not going to lie, feeling a little bit cooked today, but we're going to down this bad boy. Me and Cooks did MMA. We did leg sparring. Well, I should say kick sparring. We did kick sparring last night, and now we're going to do legs with the big dog, Mitch. So probably not the smartest thing. And this is also the same approach we use with all of our clients, which leads me to key number one. It has to fit your lifestyle ongoing, not just for 12 weeks, but consistently. I'm going to train in socks if that's all right.
Yeah.
Bare feet's so much better for legs.
I'm only putting my shoes on once I start doing some calf raises. You're bloody lucky I've got clothes on, mate. I'm not joking. If I'm doing legs, it's not uncommon for me to just train in my undies.
Wait, better range motion?
Range of motion. I kid you not, this is a true story. Back when I used to personal train people in here, it was my turn to train legs in the afternoon. Hot summer's day, did my thing, shirt off, pants off, mid squat, get a knock on the door. I still had one more client that I forgot about.
Client just walks in your boxes?
I kid you not, I'm just fully down, base of a squat, bum cheeks open, and g'day, Susie. Sorry about that.
This introduction to the big dog. This is Mitch for anyone that doesn't know, aka the smaller, less tanned, shorter version of myself. And yeah, we're gonna hit some legs with the big dog. Try and grow some of these things.
Oh, yeah, look, if you want to get bigger legs, just get tighter shorts and it makes them look bigger. What are we doing?
We are going to key number one, has to fit your lifestyle ongoing sustainably. So for me, that looks like weight training, minimum 3 times a week, sometimes 4, and combining it with sport MMA, which we will get to later and cover that. But right now, gonna hit some legs.
All right.
I reckon Bulgarians.
To start?
Maybe not to start. Maybe like some hammy curls to start.
Yeah, something gentle. I need you to like, give me a bit of foreplay.
Just warm it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Don't just go flying in.
What's that? Yeah, sweet. Well, honestly, sometimes what I do is I'll just get on the hamstring curl, get some blood in my knees, and then decide what compound movement I feel like doing after that.
We're gonna do some hammy curls, probably some Bulgarians, some leg press, definitely some calves, and maybe some glute ham raise.
Yeah, we'll do some of that. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Honestly, I recommend.
Is it this?
Leave it there and lean into
forward.
it. Otherwise, it's just painful. Lean.
First day in the gym. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got bloody 300 years worth of experience between us, and we just couldn't figure out how to.
I'm just a. That's as high as it goes, eh? Doesn't go higher than that.
Doesn't go higher than that.
I've never actually coached anyone before.
Nah. Fraud.
So what I was saying before about key number one is it's got to fit your lifestyle. So I look at that, there's like a few things. There's time management, enjoyment factor, and commitment level. So enjoyment factor, like if you despise weight training, the thought of doing some weights just like makes you want to punch yourself in the face, then fair, like don't do it. Find something else that you do enjoy. Although I will say, I'll caveat that. How's that for a word?
Yeah, it's nice.
You also have to be realistic about your goals, because if I say I want to get better at running, but I despise running, then like probably not ideal, you know? So if you want to have a toned, defined, like muscular look, but you're not willing to do weight training, you kind of just have to be okay with maybe not getting that look. Just want to throw that out there. Because we do get a lot of inquiries and stuff from people that say like they want to look muscular, defined, toned, jacked, shredded, and they don't do any weight training, or they're not willing to start. And we just have to tell them like that's just not going to happen. Or they'll send a photo of someone that they aspire to look like, and we're also like, that person's been weight training for over a decade. So that's the first thing. The next thing I actually wanted to touch on was like time management and commitment. That will tie into being able to stick to it. So you have to realistically look at your schedule, your weekly life, and be like, how many times do I want to commit? And then how many times can I actually commit? Because if you've got 2-3 kids, a full-time job, all these other responsibilities, it might not be doable to train 6 times a week, but maybe it is for some of you. It completely depends. And that's where you have to be realistic with your schedule and what you want to do. But the best part is, especially if you're trying to lose body fat, get that toned, defined look that you want, you can make seriously good progress with just a few 30 to 45 minute sessions per week, especially if you're effective with it as well. So don't think you have to train 6 times a week for 1 to 2 hours every session. Doesn't need to be that intense.
Going for my first working set on hamstring curls now, and like just listening to what Alex said earlier about like time management and everything like that. If the availability of your equipment allows you to do so, I also like to think about my next exercise. And our next exercise, I believe, is going to be leg press. So once I've done my working set on the hamstring curl, I then jump onto the leg press with a light weight and I actually start doing my warm up there. So instead of just standing around and wasting time in between a set of hamstring curls, I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. So working set here, straight over to the leg press, lightweight, get warmed up. And that's just how I like to roll anyway, because who doesn't like saving time? I love the gym, don't get me wrong, but I also like to, go upstairs and watch TV and stuff as well.
Although we're doing Bulgarians next, not leg press, big dog, but that's all right.
Oh, we're doing bulks next.
Bulgs, mate.
That's right, I'll do a static lunge.
I'm just gonna go first working set.
For everybody playing along at home, if you're wondering why we've got our front foot on that plate, you're gonna get more depth, okay? More stretch on the quad, and as a secondary benefit, it gets a really good stretch through the hip flexor where your leg's up on the back. I personally like to think of weight training as a way to build muscle, get strong, and also promote mobility as well. How'd that feel, mate?
Filth. We're going straight into the other leg?
Yeah. Boom. The old love-hate relationship with Bulgarians. We all hate them, but I tell you what, I reckon they're the best leg building exercise out.
100%. Yeah, Mitch pretty much said it all there. But if I take Bulgarians out of my program for like longer than a week, get such tight hips and then it pulls through to my back, because this big stretch position here, this is the same as a couch stretch, which is, fuck, I need to catch my breath. Basically this stretch here, but because we're doing it with weight, and we're taking it all the way through full range of motion, it helps not only loosen hips up, but strengthen them in the stretch position, which is what you want, and then just feels way better. So this movement here cooks your quads in a good way. When I say cooks, I mean works the quads, hip flexor. This side we're going to be working quads, but also your glutes as well. So if you do want to build a bit of a peach, do some Bulgarians with a deficit.
Show us that peach, mate.
I should not be this out of breath after a set of Bulgarians.
I must admit, I'm just sitting over here in the corner, just out of breath in silence.
One thing I highly recommend doing is, if you haven't done Bulgarians before, or if you are doing them and you've hit a plateau, is do one leg at a time. So I recommend doing your weaker leg first. So for example, if mine's left, then left foot forward first. Do your set, say 6 to 8, 8 to 10, whatever rep range you're doing, and then take a little break in between, because when you are doing Bulgarians, both your legs are working. So then if you go straight into the other one, which is what we're doing here, just to save a bit of time because there's 3 of us training, it is way harder. So you will help break through some plateaus if you take a little break in between, like 1 to 2 minutes, and then go into the other side.
I was saying that the benefit of just adding some more weight and stepping outside your comfort zone, the benefits you can feel. To be honest, sometimes when you train by yourself, you can really get stuck in the trap of like taking the easy way out. When you train with some friends, I don't want to say that it's ego, but it kind of makes you just step up a little bit more and do what you know you're capable of. Instead of doing an 80 kilo Bulgarian split squat, I did 100. And that extra 20 kilos, I am like proper feeling it.
Which is a huge increase, which like I always say to cameraman cooks, like if you're doing 80 and then we come and you can do 100, then it means you've been sandbagging every other workout.
Absolutely.
So we have something that's sustainable, enjoyable. You're gonna make it fit into your schedule, time management. Now, key number 2 is what training actually works the best for fat loss and getting that defined, muscular or toned look that you want. And the answer is weight training. Now, the key here is because you could say, well, Alex, doing HIIT cardio or sprints or long distance cardio burns more calories, and maybe that is true. But when it comes to fat loss, not just weight loss, at minimum, we need to maintain the muscle we have. Hopefully, ideally build some more. And if you're within your first 5 years of consistent training, I'd definitely say that you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So that's why weight training should definitely be a priority if you are wanting to lose fat and build some muscle at the same time. A really good example, this literally just popped up yesterday. So one of our coaches, Kerry, who by the way, she's 50, she's an absolute gun. One of her clients just lost 6 kilos, which is absolutely epic, but she did a DEXA scan at the start and then she did another DEXA scan. She did that on her own behalf. We don't make clients do DEXA scans. She doesn't do any weight training whatsoever. So we just nailed the calorie deficit. She was getting in some steps and of course, high protein diet. She, in the 6 kilos, a kilo of that lost was actually muscle mass. And the reason I say that is because that's how important weight training is. And especially as you get older, it's not just for looks, which of course, like, we all want to look good. It's also for long-term health, bone density, and all that good stuff. So that was just a really good reminder for myself and all other clients. Weight training is so important. And if you think about a kilo of muscle, a kilo doesn't sound that much, but if you see, should have brought my muscle replica. If you see a kilo of just pure muscle, like that is quite a lot. And that was only dropping 6 kilos. So if she went to drop another 6 kilos, you could argue she should probably lose another kilo of muscle. So, that's, my maths is not Great. It's like 10%, eh?
Oh, yeah, you do a percentage.
10, is that right? 10%?
I don't know.
Maybe a bit less, but still. And you can avoid that by simply hitting weights at least twice a week. If you can hit 3 or more, that'll be sweet, but at least twice a week. So that's the most optimal, best training you can do for pure fat loss. Hopefully that makes sense. Cameron Cooks, did that make sense?
Did to me.
All right, well, that's all we need, eh? Oh. If you're thinking, Alex, your legs do not look anything like Mitch's, that's not because I have less muscle and I'm wider. It's just because his shorts are tighter and shorter. That's all there is to it.
Just wear tight clothes, everyone. Far out. I've been trying
And
to
if
tell
you think
people
I'm
for
lying,
years.
you're right. I am.
He's got it. How many reps did you go then? 8.
I think I was 8.
Yeah.
What are you guys laughing
I'm still puffed from, I was just giving
How tanned are you?
Cameron Cooks a little bit of a kiss.
at?
Good, like seeing you guys from this angle where.
The OnlyFans angle, mate. Subscribe. Okay?
I tell you what,
Go find it. It's out there.
if coaching fails,
Yeah.
there's always a backup.
Of course there is.
And that is not OnlyFans.
Drop a comment.
No,
if
don't.
AG did OnlyFans, would you subscribe?
Brit would leave me, and then I'd be homeless.
I even have you do both. Only toes.
Was that your last set?
Yeah,
My last set too? Who did their first working set?
I went first.
Oh, dirty. Dirty dog. Always sneaking in first, eh?
Nice.
Talk about a head spin.
Not enough Pepsi Max.
Not enough Peppy Max.
Moving into some leg press. This is going to replace my hack squat today. Now on this, we're going to go a little bit higher reps, so like 15 to 20. On that note, this wasn't one of the keys, but it's a question that I saw pop up on my Instagram yesterday was, should you go lower reps and more weight or higher reps and lightweight? And it's just the wrong way to think about it, because all you need to do to build muscle, or at least maintain it, is just stimulate it enough. Basically, just train close to failure. Doesn't matter if I'm doing 6 reps or 20, as long as I use the correct amount of weight to get within, say, 1 to 2 reps of failure, then I'm gonna get pretty much very similar muscle growth. So pick the weight and the rep range that you feel the best on for that specific exercise. So for example, Bulgarians, love just going heavy on those, feels real good. Leg press, for me personally, I don't like to go below 8 to 10 reps just because it can really load up my spine, and I do get like a niggly lower back because I'm an old man. So I just prefer to go a bit higher reps on here and just get a really, really good pump in the quads. So we're gonna go like 15 to 20, I think. Or maybe not. Try to get as low as you can without your back rounding, and then just pump them up. Nice. You can see Mitch's depth here is insane, like calves squishing into hamstrings. That requires some seriously good ankle mobility. You got it.
My glutes are shaking, hey. My glutes are actually shaking.
That's a good set.
Anybody just starting out, just remember, it's not just about what you lift.
Nah, it is.
Not just about what you look like.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta feel good. Don't listen to this guy.
Don't listen to fucking Mitch over here. Sometimes you just need to mentally psych yourself up for the set before you start. Hey?
Leg day's the only day that I worry about.
Same.
Anything else, I couldn't care less. Take note, everyone, as well. Look at that. Look at that rep speed tempo. You can see that there's like intent behind it. You're not just trying to get reps out for the sake of it. Coming down nice and steady, you're putting so much tension on the muscle, and that's where you're actually getting the benefit. And if you've got to reduce the weights a little bit to allow you to get better tempo and better depth, do it. It doesn't matter how many plates you've got on the side of the leg press if you're not doing it properly. No one cares. Hey, AG.
What he said. Yeah. Do you want to do one more of those? Or?
Nah, fuck no. Nah, they're like...
Yeah, quads are done. So next up, by the way, team, I apologise for filming a leg day on this video because I just think legs is just boring, isn't it? Next time we'll do some upper body or something, but it is probably the most important thing to train, other than biceps, let's be honest. So we're hitting glute ham raise, really good for the glutes and hamstrings, and we're just going to superset with calf raise to save some time. So smash these out. Job done. Nothing too crazy today, but still a good sesh.
Everything I picked for this gym, you know, obviously because it's a small space, it all had to be good equipment and serve a purpose.
By the way, if you want to take your lower back out when you do these, you want to like crunch down, take it out almost round your upper back like this, and then just think about driving your hips through the pad and squeezing the cheeks to bring them up.
Squeeze the cheeks.
Yeah, I used to tell my clients we're doing prison prep for this.
I see people holding on to a whole heap of weight when they do this, and a lot of the time they're doing it wrong because Trust me. If you get this technique right, even with body weights, your hamstrings
fucking
will
burning.
be absolutely screaming at you.
How they look, Cooks?
You're good, man.
I feel like I've just been sitting down this whole video. Every scene, Alex is standing up and I'm just like sitting down. Smart.
And then got to hit the carbs. You can't skip carbs. Also, they like for real, not fucking around for once in my entire life. Really good for like knee health as well. Because if you get dodgy knees, especially like I was saying, I've got no cartilage in mine, so it's really important to have strong calves, even if they're not big.
He's being modest.
But strong calves good.
If you neglect calves your whole life like I did, you'll end up with this. They look like matchsticks with the wood shaved off them.
Did this move for you? This didn't move, did it?
No, it didn't move. A little bit of anatomy too, ladies and gents. When you train your calves with straight legs, you're going to be targeting the top portion of the calf, which is called the gastrocnemius. If you're doing something like a seated calf raise, where you've got your knee bent like this, you're going to be targeting your soleus. So don't get into the habit of only doing standing calf raises. You want to get into the habit of also chucking in those seated calf raises. I'll be completely honest, I think they're so boring. They're so boring, it makes me sad. But if you want to be like a complete human being, you got to get these as well, all right?
Just be a
Look at that.
half human being like me. Oh, you save that for the other channel.
Cookie is up.
Cookie is up. Cameraman Cooks, let's get it.
Cameraman,
Get them glutes. All right, team, we are back from legs. Apologies, had to make a little lunch, get a couple of chicken wraps in me before I went into key number 3, because legs absolutely cooks me. But hopefully you took some good tips and some other, good value from that leg session, even though we talk a lot of shit. Hopefully there was some good tips in there for you. But anyway, key number 3 is how often should you be training? Now, the first answer is it depends. And I know that's a little bit annoying, but what are you doing, Keel? Sorry, you can't see her. Zena's just walking in, you can just hear her feet. So it really does depend on your schedule, your lifestyle, and how much time you have available to train. But the good news is, and I think I mentioned this when we were training, you can get some really good results with just training twice per week if you program effectively. And what I would classify as effectively programming for 2 times a week is probably 2 full body workouts. That way you'd still more than likely hit each muscle group twice per week, and 80 to 90% of those workouts would just be compound lifts, meaning multiple muscle groups working at the same time. So think leg press, pull-ups, bench press, all those big, heavy compound movements, they're gonna be ideal for that because you don't have as much time. So you're gonna spend less time doing things like, calf raises and bicep curls and whatnot. Now, if you can commit to 3 sessions a week, I do think you notice a good benefit from getting that extra 3rd session in, and anything above 3 is an absolute bonus. And I just wouldn't do 7 days a week, probably want at least 1 rest day in there. So what I'd recommend is take a look at your weekly schedule, and something that helps our clients a ton, especially the super busy ones, is actually schedule these workouts into your calendar and treat them like an appointment. And I always tell my clients that struggle with this, imagine it's a doctor's appointment. You wouldn't bail on a doctor's appointment because it's important, right? So make the training or your exercise or whatever you're doing as important as that to you, because a lot of the time some of my clients something will come up and they'll push the session out of the way. Or sometimes if you're super busy, you can easily put yourself last. What I'm trying to say is just put yourself first, schedule them into your weekly calendar. It's good because you can look ahead of time, be like, oh cool, Wednesday morning, gonna hit the gym at 7 a.m. for a full body workout, whatever it is. Moving into key number 4, now we're gonna start talking about the best approaches. So the first thing you might be thinking is training splits. Like, what do I do when I go to the gym? A training split is basically just your program, what you're training, what muscle groups you're training on what day. And this completely depends on how many days you're doing, but a few simple favorites you can give a try. So if you're training twice per week, I would just do full body workouts each session. If you're training 3 times per week, you can also do full body workouts each session. That works really well. Or you can do an upper body, lower body, full body. That's another great option. If you're going to 4 days a week, you can do upper, lower. That's probably one of the best ones. You can do 4 full body days. Personally, not my favorite way to do it, but you can. If you're a bloke and you want to put some more size on the upper body, you can do push, pull, legs, and then a full upper. So legs once per week, everything else twice per week. And if you're going 5 days a week, then it's like the options are endless. There's so many good options. One of my personal favorites is push, pull, legs, upper, lower, or put legs in between. So push, legs, pull, upper, lower. Now this is where we are going a little bit more tactical here, but hopefully that is a little bit of guidance to get you started. The next thing to think about with best approaches or best practices is progressive overload. Now this is more important Sorry, I don't know what Zena's doing. This is more important than the actual training split you do. Now, progressive overload simply means adding more weight or more reps over time. So the easiest way to do that is just increase the weight slowly, or if you get to a weight where you feel like if you increase it, your form is slipping and it's not so good, or you just feel like you can't push past that weight, then try to increase the reps. So if you keep failing at 10, then we're gonna try and hit 11 reps, then 12 reps, 13 reps, and so on. And then maybe after doing that for a few weeks or a month, you'll be able to then increase the weight. But like I mentioned in the gym, doesn't really matter if you're doing 6 reps, 10 reps, 12, 15 reps. As long as you're training close to failure and you're putting a lot of effort into the sets, you're gonna build muscle, or you're at least gonna maintain muscle if you are in a calorie deficit losing body fat. Also, I don't know why this has just gone crazy overexposed. I don't know if that's better or worse. This is why we need cameraman cooks. This self-film and stuff, guys, I'm clearly not that good at it. And I feel like I'm not even in focus. Key number 5 is steps, cardio, sports. Where does this fit in your training program, the best way to train for fat loss? Well, first of all, a step count, so like a daily step goal, is a game changer for fat loss. The reason being is it's a very easy way to increase your energy output with very minimal demand on the body. Meaning if you're currently doing 6,000 steps per day and over the next few weeks you work up to 7,000, 8,000, stay there, and then maybe in a few weeks time you work up to 9 or even 10,000 from there, you're gonna get really good fat loss effects from that. It's gonna help push you into a calorie deficit even more without feeling absolutely cooked. So it's completely different than going and hitting a hard leg workout. It's not gonna tax your body just up in steps, because you can get them throughout the day, barely even noticing if you're smart about it. So just parking further away when you go to the shops. If you do have to take phone calls for work, just like walking around, I'll often like pace around the backyard if like my dad calls me because I know we're gonna have a bit of a yarn. Do that. Those little things rack up the steps real quick. Next is cardio. Now this is great for your heart health, and to be honest, everyone should probably do this, but it's not actually needed in order to lose body fat. So if you absolutely despise cardio, if the thought of cardio makes you want to headbutt the wall, then you don't need to do it. And I wouldn't recommend doing it because you're not going to stick to it. Let's just do the things we need to do first, the calorie deficit, the weight training. Then from there, who knows, maybe start seeing the progress and you want to add a bit in. If you don't, it's all good. Majority of our clients, honestly, weights, nail the nutrition, calorie deficit, high protein, all that good stuff, and then a daily step target. And that's pretty much it. What I would say with cardio is just be very careful about falling into the trap of like seeing those cardio fat burning workouts online, because I've seen them, they get millions and millions of views, and that's because they're trying to position a workout as like, this is all you need to do to get this body that you see, or this is all you need to do to lose that belly fat. And unfortunately, it's just not true. If it was, that'd be great because it would be much easier. But as we know, it comes down to the calorie deficit, your protein, like we were speaking about earlier, weight training. So I'm not saying HIIT workouts are bad, and if you love doing a good HIIT workout, then it's so good for your heart health, and definitely go for it, but just keep in mind it's not needed. Now next in this category we have sports. Personally, this is my favorite way to do cardio, and to be honest, it's like the only real way I do cardio at the moment. So played football my whole life. At the moment, love doing MMA. If you have a sport or something that you like doing, it is the best way to disguise cardio, because you're gonna have fun while you're doing it. You're gonna burn a good chunk of calories, and you're also gonna get fitter, aka healthier. It's just so good all around. Again, the good news is if you despise sport as well, you don't need to do it to lose fat. So just keep that in mind. Something else to keep in mind though, if you're doing similar training to myself, like a hybrid approach, basically doing sports and weights, you do need to take that into account so you don't get injured. Let's say you're trying to do boxing or gymnastics or any sport, and then a lot of weights as well. They are both demanding on the body, and you still need to let your body recover. So if you're currently just doing weight training and you want to add in some sports, what I'd recommend doing is just adding in the sport whilst dropping down a weight session. So let it balance out until your body adapts, and then maybe you can slowly increase it. Otherwise, you'll do what I did. You'll keep your weight training super high and you add on MMA on top. Then you'll really enjoy it. You'll add more, and then you'll tear your rotator cuff like me and be out for a good few months. Not fun, not ideal. Wouldn't recommend it. Hopefully now you can see that once again, it is the absolute basics. Just being nailed and done consistently over periods of time is what gets you the best results possible. And yes, of course, there's always going to be little nuances, but you don't really need to go crazy deep into any of them. And I spent my career starting out over here, super simple. Pretty sure there's a really good meme for this, like the Mitwit meme, I think it's called. Anyways, starting out over here, super simple, getting good results, and then you get super addicted. So you just go in the trenches of like, what is the perfect program, periodization model to bring up my arms and bring delts, and all that stuff's fun. I'm not saying don't do that if you're really getting into it. It is extremely fun. But then I come out the other side and you realize now, okay, after 13 years, it's 95% of your results will literally come from nailing the basics. Like, okay, if I just hit my calories, I hit my protein consistently, I train really hard and push close to failure, and I don't do anything stupid to get injured. Of course, there's a few other ones, hydration, sleep. That will literally get you 95% of the results. Very easily said, a lot harder to do. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I felt this video was massively long. Hopefully that was valuable. If you like that one, check out this video next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.